People on here. I sent the request to Greg, so we'll see if he can he'll pop on here. Nobody's on here yet. Still waiting for people to jump on here. Now we got two people. What in the sand tail? My rigger and my roar here is. It's gonna fall. Bear with me. Oh, here. This should do it. That ain't gonna move. Holy shit, that's moving too. What's going on, guys? What are you guys up to? Got two people on here. I wish it'd say, it used to say he was on here, but I don't really know until you comment. So make sure you go and comment and make sure you can hear me just fine. Where's the comment at? Oh, not this shit. Fishing. Nice. You guys have any luck? This thing gonna piss me. You guys doing any hot rod shit here lately, Adam? Heck yeah. I'd like to get back into fishing. I did a fair amount of fishing when I was in high school, but I haven't got back into it since I lived back here in Oregon. We used to fish the Columbia River a lot, right out of the Tri Cities, like right at the mouth of the Snake. We'd fish there a lot for smallmouth. Yeah, dude, it's race season, dude. You gotta get that fishing out of the way. So you guys know I'm not a Chiefs fan. This is just the only cup that I could find. Put my drink in. Yeah, we were on a struggle bus this last weekend in Medford. It was fun though. I mean, we learned a little bit. The car was slow. I think we kind of know why. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looked nice. It looked the part. It was just slow. Off the trailer it went, which was my fault. I completely missed the tune-up off the trailer. It went 690 at like 117, but it was just I was taking way more power out of it because I was trying. The only testing that I had was what we had on the street, so I took way too much timing out of it. I was trying to leave on like a pound and a half of boost, and it was just a slug out of the hole. So I just completely missed the tune up on first round, but went 690 at 117. Then I shut it off and I brought it back and we pulled plugs. Everything looked happy. As far as the plugs, it was really fat. So I took a little bit of fuel out of it and then we went to go back up there. So we drew the bye first round. It was off the trailer race. So we drew the bye first round. And then we end up getting Shane in round two, and we accidentally left a plug wire off number one cylinder. So we raced Shane on seven cylinders. I think it went like 713 or something like that. Really slow. I knew something was wrong. And yeah, the mile per hour wasn't bad. Like I had no like there barely any boost in it, and I was hanging 8 degrees out of the map through the finish line. So I the base map on this thing is like 28 degrees, and I was pulling it way down, and then I had way too much timing out for too long. I mean, there was a lot of things that once I was able to analyze the data, I seen I seen all kinds of stuff that I had jacked up. But yeah, mile per hour wise, 120 mile an hour with a 170 60 foot, ended up going 630 was that last pass. And it actually had too much wheel speed right at the leave, and then it caught the tire, and then it wasn't real happy, but we learned a little bit. So the big so like I said, we're on Strobus. So left plug wire off. That pass against Shane, we shut the door and it broke the fitting off the boost controller, so it leaked all the CO2 out. Then the gauge was all wonky on my CO2 and showed that it still had 500 pounds of pressure in the tank. So it still showed that it had pressure in the tank, but it did not. So I tapped on the gauge, and that freaking gauge went down to zero. And so the rest of the day, I was basically fighting not having enough CO2 pressure to hold the wastegate shut. And then another curveball is I had uh, I had no springs in the gates because when we tested on the street, I couldn't get it to. It was wanting to make 4 or 5 pounds of boost at the leave, and I was wanting to make sure that I could manage the boost at whatever level down low. I think it works for some people doing it that way. I don't think that's going to be benefit me. I might try it again later once I get a handle on the car, taking the gate springs out and just doing everything with the boost controller and the CO2 pressure and all that stuff. But I feel like it didn't want to do a burnout. It didn't want to. I mean, it was making no boost at all when I was trying to do a burnout. And I wish I would have caught on to that a little earlier, because then I would have turned the CO2 on and tried to do a burnout, off the trans brake, and then it would have actually made some boost and made some power. But like I said, this is my first turbo program. That's my excuse, at least. So we're learning. And yeah, my best 60 foot all weekend was a 171. This is the last one, and it carried quite a bit of wheel speed. And then at like a half a second, it actually caught the tire, and then a little bit after the shift, it kind of got back up on the tire, and so there were some rooms to gain there by a lot. Um, and like I said, I think the chassis is somewhat happy. It seemed happy, at least. Um, I was able to give it quite a bit of power out the back as far as the ramp went and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. I was trying to go 630 off the trailer because I thought that's what the surface looked like, and there were some people that went a little bit faster than that. 610, 620s, I think was off the trailer was pretty close. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't get I'm no professional racer or anything like that. So if I can help somebody learn something that I learned the hard way, I'm cool with that. I'm not, you know, I like making content and it's fun and all that stuff, but I'm not too big for my britches either. I feel like that I like to help the next guy the best I can. Like I always think it's kind of weird at this level how secretive everybody gets and stuff, and I'm I'm gonna tell you, unless it's just a respect thing out of from the other car. Like if I would have went door to door down with Chad or Shane or the Gandys or whatever, and we both made a good pass, and I kind of roughly knew what he ran, I probably wouldn't tell you how fast I went, just out of respect for them. But if I'm making single runs and we're getting a handle on things, I like to tell people how fast I'm going. It's fun. I did. I did request Greg to come on here, but we'll see if I can get him on here. I didn't call him or give him the heads up. I tried calling him earlier and he didn't answer. But yeah, content's been kind of slow lately too. I don't know if you guys caught it in my last video, but I've worked for the C&D lumber company. I've worked out in a log yard for quite a while out there. I've worked for them since 2007, and well, they decided to close the doors, so it put me in a kind of a bad situation to have to find a different job, and so the car kind of got put on the back burner, and I don't have a whole lot of content without my car. So we're kind of back in the roll of things. I got a new job. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I took a pay cut, but we'll get her straightened back out. Uh, I plan on trying to test a little bit here in the middle of May, and then there's a race in Medford at the end of May. So I'm gonna just basically, my plan was before I knew I was losing my job, I was gonna try to race and do a little bit more traveling, which obviously my first time out, I was nowhere near where I need to be competitive. Uh, but I feel like as much as I missed everything, I got to pat myself on the back a little bit because every pass we went A to B. Was it fast? No, but it's also kind of cool that I can turn this thing down that far and it still go and it still do okay. So, oh heck yeah. Well, good luck. Get her in. But anyways, we'll get her. We'll get her fingered out. Got six people on here. Who else is on here? Comment if you can. If not, sorry. I'm just drinking tea tonight. I just got me some sweet tea, some Milos. Today though, I put I put the wastegate springs back in. Today's the first day I've been able to work on my car since last weekend. But I put the gate springs back in. Went over, ran the valves, went over, checked everything over, just made sure everything looked kosher from last weekend. I made the one pass. It made almost 13 pounds of boost, um, but it wasn't happy right there. Like it was spinning pretty good out the back, so um, it actually zipped the motor pretty hard right towards the end, and so yeah, I didn't have I didn't have a good control of the tire, so it spun pretty good at the end there, and it made a little bit of more boost than I was planning on trying to make. But throughout the rest of the weekend, we were right around 10 pounds of boost through the end, 10 or 11 or so. But like I said, I'm learning. This is freaking turbo stuff's a little bit different. We had really good luck with Chad's car right out of the bat, right out of the trailer, pretty much. He took his car from running big tire, and we put on 28s this year and switched it all over, and we kind of rolled the dice, and between him and I, we decided what we thought would work, and we got lucky. He ended up winning the whole event on small tires, very first time on small tires in that car. So uh, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to watch him do good, uh, and I'm hoping that his luck will just continue to do good. We're going to Utah next weekend for the Basin Bash, I think is what it's called. Limpy's gonna be on the light. Cody Cook is putting it on, and it should be pretty fun. Man, I got people on here, but nobody's commenting. Adam was the only one commenting. everybody hear me just fine? Is the audio fine? Out here in Garage and Kaiser. Chris, where are you? You're from Kaiser? I'm. I don't know if I know who Chris is. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to share this to a couple more spots. Um, I'm going to share here. Can you guys still hear me? Cool. What you have a car in Kaiser there, Chris? I kind of just got my phone. My phone's actually charging right now. I got it propped up on the hood of, or the top of my car. Hopefully, we'll get some more people on here. These live feeds here lately, man, have been tough. I've been wanting to do as many of them as I can because I like to kind of interact with all the people that have been. Oh shit! Scratch. My bad. I like to interact with all the people that have subscribed to the channel and stuff. But they've been kind of tough. Like it's been going 4, 8, 10. I think the most I've had on so far today is 10. But I have a 280Z. Heck yeah, that's cool. The more the merrier, man. Oregon, Oregon's got a lot of fast cars. The West Coast is kind of the West Coast has a lot of fast cars, and everybody says, "Oh, it ain't Midwest fast," but I feel like uh, I feel like the Midwest guys just get to race way more often than we do. Um, I feel like the economy is probably better there, which helps everybody kind of. And then there's a race every freaking weekend. You could throw a rock in any direction and be like, okay, I'm going 200 miles this way for 10 grand, or I'm going 200 miles south for 10 grand. And it just is not the same vibe around here, which I would love to get it that way and get it to where we could go racing every weekend somewhere else or every other weekend. I mean, I'm not even greedy. If we could drive within within the state or within Northern California up to Central Washington or whatever, that'd be fun. But it just doesn't seem like it's we don't have anybody that's really dedicated to promote. I don't know if you guys have been if you guys watch a whole lot of YouTube, but Olympy and Chris Lane and who else? They have a podcast and they talk about promoting and they talk about everything. It's just kind of a big bullshit session, but it's really kind of cool to watch because they show the passion that they have for literally just promoting and how much work they put into giving everybody in their group somewhere to race, and we just don't really have that as much. All of our tracks, like Justin Goodlet does a great job, but he also has to run the track and he has to, juggle the bracket guys, the diesel guys, all of us, and it's just not the same vibe. Jesus, I got fumble fingers today. Chris, what kind of racing do you guys street race, or do you race at the track at Woodburn, or what do you guys race at? Do I know you? I probably know you, and I don't even know it. It only shows Chris, so it don't show your last name or nothing. So let me see something, guys. Let's see if the internet. Tell me if that sounds that's any better. I turned my Wi-Fi off. I'm out in the shop, and it usually works. I need to get a new booster, Wi-Fi booster. Woodburn and Streets. I don't think we have met in person. Copy. Well, we'll definitely have to. I know some. I know Dustin. He's from right around in that area, Dustin Canoy, and his dad. And then obviously I hang out in Lebanon, Brownsville area quite a bit with the Gandys and stuff. So pretty cool to see everybody up the up the state. Everybody that like I said, we got a lot of fast people around here. Not me. Shit, I'm not fast at all. If I can turn this around. Oh yeah. If you guys see the Nova in the background there, it's a Nova buddy from school I'm building. Yeah, Dustin's a good dude. He's a pretty good friend. Really surprised. I figured I'd have oh, I think Greg's at a dang um he's at a he's doing something else. Let's see.